Hey ladies, falling in love shouldn't feel like a battlefield. So why does it often feel that way? What if I told you there's a system behind attraction, a way to understand how men truly connect with women, not just in the short term, but for a lasting, deep, soulful bond? Let's pull back the curtain and talk about something that every woman deserves to know: the 4 levels of connection, a system I've developed from years of work, observation, and experience. This isn't just dating advice. This is about truly understanding how a man falls in love, and more importantly, how he stays there. The first level? Physical. We're starting with chemistry, the sparks, the looks, the desire. That moment when a man sees a woman and thinks, wow, I want her. This is raw attraction, biology, instinct. It's important, no doubt. But here's the twist: it's only the beginning. If a man feels a pull toward you on this level, he becomes open to the next stage. And that's the emotional level. Once he's drawn to your presence, he starts noticing the way you make him feel. Does he feel alive around you? Inspired? Does he crave your energy when you're not around? This is when the connection starts deepening. It's no longer just about how you look, it's about how you affect his inner world. Next comes the intellectual bond. This is where things get interesting. Can he talk to you for hours and still feel like there's more to discover? Does your mind intrigue him? Challenge him? If yes, he's no longer just interested, he's invested. This is the level where trust, admiration, and true companionship begin to grow. And finally, the spiritual connection. This is sacred territory. A man will only go here with a woman he feels is truly his. Not just someone he likes, not even someone he loves, but someone whose soul resonates with his. Here, he becomes vulnerable, open, completely himself. And that is where real love lives. Here's the thing most of us forget: a strong relationship doesn't come from physical chemistry alone. In fact, that's the most easily replaceable level of connection. Why? Because almost any woman can please a man physically, especially if she learns to master the art of seduction. But that alone? It won't earn you a ring. Let's be honest, he might be wild about you for a night, a week, maybe a couple of months. But if he doesn't feel emotionally seen, mentally engaged, and spiritually safe with you, it ends. It fades. And you're left wondering what happened. So no, you don't need to become a super geisha to make a man commit. That's a myth. You can blow his mind in bed, but if you don't reach him here, heart, mind, soul, he'll move on. And here's the plot twist: you don't even need to sleep with him to spark that connection. Attraction and desire are enough to begin the journey. If he feels that magnetism, and then discovers you're also emotionally intelligent, fun to talk to, and spiritually grounded, you're not just a fling, you're the one. But if that initial physical pull is missing, he might still think you're amazing. He might enjoy your company, laugh at your jokes, even call you brilliant. But he'll put you in the friend zone. And once you're there, it's very hard to climb out. So ladies, remember this: a true bond happens when you build connection on all 4 levels. If you want love that lasts, not a 2-week fling, not a 2-month fantasy, but a partnership that grows deeper over time, you need to move past just physical chemistry. Focus on sparking his heart, challenging his mind, and touching his soul. Because when a man feels all 4 levels of connection with you, he's not just falling for you, he's staying forever. You've probably heard this one before: if you act like a total badass, cold, controlling, always in charge, men will fall at your feet. Right? Like you're the queen bee barking commands. Sit. Stay. Come here. Now fetch. And he's supposed to turn into your little lapdog? Let me stop you right there. That strategy? It's a fantasy. A total illusion. Sure, it might get a reaction. Men might chase, they might play the game, especially the competitive ones. They'll see your ice queen act and think, oh, challenge accepted. Let's see who tames who. But here's what really happens: the chase ends. The drama fizzles. The fireworks go off, and then the champagne goes flat. Just like that. Because playing games with a man's emotions might spark passion, but it doesn't build love. It builds adrenaline, not connection. And that kind of high burns out fast. A month, maybe 2. Tops. After that, it's over. He moves on, and you're left wondering why it didn't turn into something real. So let's talk real connection, real relationships. The kind that don't just feel exciting, they last. We've already touched on the physical and emotional levels. Now, it's time for the most powerful, most underrated, and most competitive layer of all, the intellectual connection. Here's why it matters so much today. Modern men, especially the successful, self-aware ones, are no longer rushing to get married. Why would they? If life already feels fun, vibrant, and full of options, what's the rush? They've got careers, travel, exciting hobbies, a stream of women to date casually. So unless something really stands out, they're not jumping into commitment. At least not right away. But here's the twist. That same man, that driven, magnetic, high-value guy, he is open to marriage. Just not with any woman. He's looking for someone who clicks in the one place most women ignore, his mind. Let me explain. A man like that doesn't pick a wife based on physical chemistry alone. He doesn't choose from the heart right away either. He chooses with his head. His most sensitive and, yes, most attractive organ is his brain. That's where the decision happens. If his mind decides you're the one, everything else follows. So if you're wondering how to win his heart, start by winning his mind. Make him think about you when you're not around. Make him curious. Make him feel like you're a woman he hasn't met before, someone with depth, brilliance, and emotional intelligence. Show him you're not like the rest. Because once he's mentally engaged, once that red X in his mind flips into a glowing green checkmark, boom, everything changes. That's when he begins to really open up. That's when the walls come down and the door to his soul cracks open. But without that intellectual spark, he'll keep that door locked tight. Now here's something wild. The intellectual level is where you actually have the biggest advantage. Why? Because, unlike physical attraction or emotional highs, this space is hard to fake. Not everyone knows how to talk, to stimulate a man's mind, to make him feel seen for who he is up here. But when you do, that's where the magic happens. That's where he starts imagining a future with you. Think of it this way. His world is full of noise, flashing lights, constant motion, high-stakes everything. He's jetting off to Switzerland, closing deals, sailing on yachts, attending events. His life is a non-stop adrenaline rush. So what does it take for you to become the calm, powerful presence that stands out? Not just beauty, not just vibes. Wisdom, depth, thoughtful connection. That's what he remembers. That's what he chooses. So yes, channel your inner Helen of Troy. Be magnetic. Be clever. Be a woman of skill and soul. It's in those conversations, in your curiosity, in your ability to challenge and uplift him intellectually, where you begin to truly stand out. And here's the secret sauce. Once you've sparked his mind, it becomes much easier to ignite the other layers. The physical connection intensifies, the emotions deepen, and, finally, his spirit opens to you. But don't make the common mistake so many soulful women make. Don't try to start with the spiritual level. I know, you've done the work. You're into energy, practices, healing, presence. And that's beautiful. But if you come to him bearing your soul on day one, hoping he'll meet you there, you might end up heartbroken. Because he's just not built that way. He starts with attraction, then feelings, then thoughts, and then, only then, comes the spiritual layer. You've got to meet him where he is first. Then guide him upward. So build a steady connection. Start at the base, and work your way to the top. Be magnetic. Be emotionally rich. Be intellectually brilliant. And gently, patiently, let your souls meet in the middle. You've got this, ladies. Remember the 4 levels of connection. Remember the difference between high vibe and low vibe men. And remember, when you touch a man on all 4 levels, you don't just win his heart. You win his devotion. If this resonated with you, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe, and check out the next video in this series. Trust me, we're just getting started. You're not just learning how to attract a man, you're learning how to create a love that lasts.